our third handcrafted holiday live. I'm really excited to go live again today and share with you all. We are going to be sewing live today the Firefly Tote from Noodlehead. So this is my new favorite pattern. It's really fun to sew. It's a fairly easy sew, so definitely for a beginner. And we're using some really fun fabric. And so today I'm just really excited to share with you all and do day 3. Oh, and I don't have my I have my iPad here, and I usually have it on mute so that I'm able to see your comments. Hi, Diana. How are you? So we're going to be sewing the Firefly Tote today, and we'll get started with kind of the opening. If you're here live, thank you for being live. This is something that I've been looking forward to doing, a little nervous about because of the tech, because there's a lot of things going on, but also just to be able to share and sew with you all during this time of year where things are busier and I just don't have the time to do the editing. So I'm just excited to be sharing with you all and have a way to do that. And so the lives are the best way for us to get together, sew together. Feel free as I'm sewing to ask any questions that you may have. And yeah, let's get to it. Each day we've been going into a question. I've been sharing a question with everybody just as kind of, a topic for us to discuss. And I thought today I would ask because, it changes all the time, right? But what's your current favorite pattern? Like, what's the thing that you could make hundreds of them and you would be super happy about it? Like, there's not a whole lot of questions or difficulty, like it's just a smooth sailing. So that's what I feel this tote has become. Even though there's areas that are a little challenging, I do like a little bit of a challenge. I feel like the Firefly tote has become, it just turns out really pretty every time. And so I would say for me, my current favorite pattern right now is the Firefly tote. In the past, some other favorite patterns of mine, which we'll probably be doing some of them here over the next couple days, because these lives I'm going to be doing from the 5th of December all the way through the 23rd, at least 1 hour during the weekdays. So probably one of them that we are going to do, because I do have it cut out already, is my floor pillow, which I already have a video in my library of YouTubes. It was the first. Was it first? No, I think it was the second. It was the second video that I ever did, which it's a Bernina free pattern I found off of Pinterest, and it's like a pinwheel floor pillow, and they just turn out gorgeous every time. So I'm going to be making some of those for my January shop, but I do have 2 with some of my scrap fabric. So that's another one that I love a lot. I'll probably think of some more as we're sewing today, but again, feel free, whether you're here live or you're watching the replay, if you have a current favorite pattern, I would love to hear it. I see Pam already said that Lynn's Handmade's crystal convertible. I was actually looking at that pattern this morning. So tomorrow's Thursday. I have a doctor's appointment in the morning, and I'm not quite sure when I'll be able to hop on live. I think 1:30 will still be okay, but I won't have the time to kind of do the prep of getting everything ready. So I think tomorrow I'm going to share with you all, and I have it open right now back here. I do like kind of a plan for each. This looks like a lot. I'm gonna just promise it. I have kind of like a wheel of the year of the plan of like the different things that I'm gonna be making, and then I integrate all of the other stuff, like all the family stuff and all of that. So I thought maybe tomorrow what I'll do, because I want to start planning out quarter 2, I will do that live instead. That way you can kind of get kind of a behind the scenes of how I do this. One, I do this for our business because having the farm and our campsites, our glamping sites, that's a very seasonal business. So I have to kind of get things prepped and ready for that. I just found doing things in quarters also, just as a mom and as a wife, helps as well, because a lot of our lives are very seasonal in that respect. So it's set up that way. So I figured maybe if you're interested in that, if that's something you'd like to see, because I don't necessarily think I have time to sew something tomorrow, to prep that, we would dive in and plan this together if you think that sounds like something you'd like. So I think that's what we'll be doing tomorrow, and then Friday we'll get back to sewing, since I already have something in the morning, and I don't want to rush myself. So yeah, let me know if you're interested in that. Diana says right now she's making the Alexa zipper pouch by Tony Styles. I don't know. Toby Styles. I don't know. I've never seen that before, Diana. I saw your picture, however, in our Facebook group, but I don't know if I've seen that pattern somewhere, so I'm going to definitely check that out. All right, so we have our Sally Tomato advent calendar to open. You can tell that this is another piece of fabric to go along with. It says right here, it says day 6, nearly there. Now today's day 7, so everybody else who has this is opening their day 7, so they know the project. But I promised that I wouldn't show the actual day, just so I wouldn't ruin it for anybody who is doing it later in the day. So it says, are you ready for the project reveal tomorrow? Hang on to this fabric until then. So this is day 6's of the Sally Tomato. My dog Apollo, if you're wondering what he got out of his advent calendar this morning, was more treats, like he needs them. So so he was very excited about his advent calendar this morning. The tissue paper is so pretty. All right, let's see here. Ooh, it's like a taupe. I don't know, it doesn't have a pinkish, it's more tannish, but that's gonna look super pretty together, because this was the fabric, the green we got yesterday, and then we had gotten like gunmetal colored hardware to go with this, so that's gonna be fun. Maybe what I'll do is, since tomorrow we probably won't sew, and Friday I already have stuff cut out for Friday, maybe over the weekend I'll cut this out, and next Monday we could actually do this pattern together. We'll see how much I can do, because we are traveling this weekend to pick up my college student. All right, let's get to sewing. What do you think? So again, if you join us live, or you join us on the replay, let me know, what is your current favorite pattern that you're working on, that you could just, or maybe you're not working on it right now, maybe you're doing Christmas stuff, but what's your current favorite pattern? Something that you're just really loving right now, and you feel like you can make a whole bunch of them and it would never get old. All right, because that's how I feel about this Firefly tote by Noodlehead. So we are going to be making the project size today. I did make the larger tote bag size for my daughter for Christmas for her crocheting. I just thought that it was I feel like it is a really fun bag for like that sort of person who either does like needlepoint or embroidery, crocheting, knitting, something that you're taking on the go with you. I feel like the way that it opens and closes is just a really great project type of bag. And or even like for today, we're going to be using, I had some of this fabric left over. This is from Fabric Therapy. This is her frozen print, and this is heavy duty canvas. And then I also had, this is a Luxe Nylon from Wonderground Fabrics. And so I had some of this fabric left, and I thought, how cool would this be as like a little tote for a little girl to put all, like, my kids anywhere we went. I don't know if you have kids or grandkids, they probably bring their toys with them. And I thought, how cute would this be for just like a little project tote? Or like an elementary school teacher, like every elementary school kid loves Olaf and Frozen, I think, and Sven, of course. So that's what we're doing today. So we'll get started. I also have these little tags. If you're not familiar with Lauren Mormino, she has the cutest little Olaf woven tags in her shop. And then she also had the one Show Yourself, which is kind of like the Arendelle frozen snowflake in the center. So I have 3 of these left. This was something my bestie, she's a big Olaf fan, so I had made her a bag, and this was the leftover fabric from it. So we're going to get started. So the way this pattern is as far as cut, it's a lot of straight square cuts. That's another reason it's very beginner friendly. Something that, as long as you have a rotary tool and a ruler, you're able to cut this out. And then has all the information as far as cutting it out. I have the pattern here just because I am not one of those people who can memorize things. If I've only made it, I've only made this bag twice. So we're just gonna keep the pattern out. Alrighty, so first, I am using, again, my favorite thread, the Fairy Floss from Wizardry Stitchery. I think this tape I got from Indo Love. I'm not sure. I have the sisters, the Arendelle sisters on the zipper pull. I don't remember where I found these. It might be Zorel, maybe not. I don't remember. Maybe it was still Indo Love. I did find Sven for my friend's bag. I found Sven zipper pulls, which were so cute, as well as Olaf ones. But I used those. So we're gonna tilt us down so you can see the machine, and we're gonna get to sewing. All right, let's see here. And I'm wearing my Edna Mode shirt today, my favorite cartoon seamstress. And we're just gonna find, let me see, I'll maybe lift you up a little bit so you can see. I know I sometimes work back here and it's hard for you guys to see. So I'm just gonna find my center of my zipper. And this is the other thing too, the zipper for this, I do find that the pattern tells you to cut your zipper a little shorter, and I like my zipper to be longer, just because you never know. So I'm gonna find my center on my front panel, and I have this interfaced with the Fabric Therapy self-adhesive woven. You can see it here. It's just cut out and it was just self-adhesive. The rest is interfaced with a woven interfacing or sew fuse. So I want my zipper to open that direction. So we're gonna go there. It was another dreary day this morning. It stopped raining, so we were able to go outside for a little bit. I went back to my raised beds to see what herbs have survived some frosts and saw that my sage is alive. So I repotted that to bring that in and saw that my chamomile has really progressed. So I'm excited about that. I'll have like one full bed full of chamomile, which makes me happy. All right, so we're just gonna I'm gonna do 1/8 of an inch, and then we're gonna put the lining on and do a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Back stitching at the beginning and make sure that my stitch length is at about 2.5. I'm just gonna move this fabric out of the way so I'm not pushing it all over the place. I didn't have any other packages show up, so today I only had the advent calendar to share with everybody. All right, now that we have that on, we're gonna take our lining, and this, I just have this interfaced with some Sew Fuse. The first one I made of these, it does call to interface a whole bunch of pieces, and you know me, I shared with you all that interfacing is not necessarily my favorite thing to do. So the first one I didn't interface everything. I just interfaced like the main structure, and it didn't get the structure that I was hoping, which is probably, you know, listen to the instructions. So this last two I made, I interfaced most of the pieces, and it turned out like the structure turned out much nicer. All right, so now we're gonna do a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Get my zipper out of the way there. There we go. Okay, now we're just gonna fold that over so we can do our top stitch. And this canvas folds, you know, again, you don't have to press it, but you do want to make sure whenever you're doing pockets like this, sometimes if you don't clip it, it ends up being wonky. So I always like to, if I can get my fingers to work, clip it so that it's straight. Make sure that it's straight on this side. Okay. I'm just gonna increase my stitch allowance to a 3 just so it makes a pretty nice top stitch across here. Okay. There we go, like that. And now what we're going to do is we're going to bring this piece up to the back here, because that is our pocket. That's one of the reasons I like this, is it's very much like a, you know, square off type of pattern. No curves, so definitely made for a beginner. Let's do it this direction so my zipper's the right way. And we're gonna just do 1/8 of an inch. Oh, my stitch. I always forget to change my stitch length. Okay. All right, so there's our bottom of our pocket. So it has the cute little, everything looks nice on the inside there. All right, now this is the part where if you have directional fabric, you want to just be mindful, and I do. So this next part, I have fraying going on over here, get rid of that. So this next part, you're going to end up with like a folded over piece like so. So I want to make sure that this here is going to fold over, that they're the right direction, because if I did it this way, Sven would be upside down there. So we want to make sure that it's this way. So I'm just going to find my centers. And then I'm going to make sure Sven is upside down here, because then that way he'll be right side up when we do it. Push in my zipper pull. All right, now we're going to do our 1/4 inch straight down through. Now we are going to meet, we're going to fold this over. We want our seam to be facing upwards, and then we're going to match our notches down here at the bottom. And then we're gonna just fold this and flatten it like so. I usually put some clips up here to keep it in place. And now I'm gonna top stitch here, and I'm gonna top stitch here, and that'll just make sure everything is staying down flat. Change my stitch length. Now we're going to go across the top. There we go. We have our cute little front pocket. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. Now we're going to get our center piece here for that, and we're going to, I'm still going to do my centers. Always important just to find those. And this is the Luxe Nylon from Wonderground, which is so beautiful, especially if you're doing a lining of something. I did the lining of my friend's bag in it, and it's, you know, it's stiff, you know, it's fairly stiff, so it really gave it good structure. Okay, so we're just gonna clip that because we're gonna want to baste this down. Okay, and we're just going to do 1/8 of an inch baste to this. Okay. All right, now that we have that basted, we're going to take our side panels and we're going to lay them like so. And we're going to do, I think it's a 3/8. I need to look at my pattern. It says 1/4 inch. I'll probably go in just a slight bit more because as you can see, I was at the end of the fabric here. I want to try to get rid of that. So I'm just going to line these up and clip them in place. Well, maybe I can, this is a little off here, so maybe I can get rid of it that way. It'll be all right. Yeah. Okay. So changing my stitch length back. Is that something you guys do? Back and forth stitch length? I feel like some people do it, some people don't do it. Some people keep their stitch length the same. You'll see, like, I think this pattern, I think the thicker you can get the structure, the better, because it really does, it's a nice like bag that like sits up on itself. So using canvas, the Luxe nylon, I think it's a good option because it is a little bit, it's a little stiffer of a fabric. The one that I made my daughter and the other one that I made for my shop is the wax canvas. So that adds a nice structure to it. I just thought too, if you're wondering how I hurt my finger, my cam press this morning got a little chunk of me. I was finishing my mother-in-law's gift and it wouldn't come off the press, and I pulled it and then it slammed my finger down. So that was fun. So I can tell her that there's true blood, sweat, and tears in her gift. And then we're just going to top stitch those panel pieces. pretty that is with the fairy floss. Look how pretty that looks. So nice. Okay. Let's do the other side. Okay. Now we're going to put our handles. We're going to stitch our handles on the top. I have to look at the pattern again and see how far from the center do I measure. So it's 2.5 from the center. I need something to mark. So 2.5. Okay. I have just some 1-inch webbing that we're going to use as the handles. I've already burnt down the edges of this. And we're just going to baste that on because the next piece that we put on here, I believe, yes, we're gonna put a piece that goes across here. And I realized that I forgot this in my last one as well. We need to stitch a line across the bottom here that just kind of creates some more structure. So I should have done that before I connected the two of them, but we're gonna go across there then. We're gonna measure that. So let's just baste this on. So that's done. See, when you start knowing a pattern, then it's like, oh, I know this, and then you skip some steps. All right. Not a crucial step, but a step we want nonetheless. So let me measure. I'll go back in the pattern and look and see. So it's 3 inches. 3 inches up. I need to measure. Okay, so see, that's gonna cut into the pocket. I feel like I don't want to do 3 inches because the pocket's right there, and who doesn't want a deeper pocket, right? I think we're just gonna follow along where that pocket is. This fabric is purple, so it's a little difficult to see where I'm putting a line, but that's actually good. We won't see it, but we're gonna stitch across that just because. I agree, you don't want, when it squares off, that's what makes it makes this part, you know, this makes it pop because it squares everything. And keeps things from falling into the underneath of the bag from the bigger pocket, I believe, is the goal. All right. Okay, so there's that. Now we need our top panel piece, which is another piece of the nylon. I'm just gonna clip my centers. This like aqua colored vinyl is so pretty. And we're just gonna clip this across the top. Whoops. Throwing clips again. And we're just gonna do 1/4 inch. Make sure our stitch length is back. Another pattern that I made a ton of that I love is my apron pattern, which I have a video of that as well. That was my first ever YouTube video was my apron pattern. I used to make a lot of aprons. All right, now we're gonna top stitch that. Correct? Yes, no, maybe so. Yes. We wanna clip our handles to be along with that top stitch. Okay. Some people don't clip them and do the top stitch over them. They do the top stitch first. I like doing this because it's just another way that secures those handles. And we're gonna rivet these then as well. But that's towards the end. Okay, there's our first panel piece. Now, here's the part that I realized I did not do. So this is the back. I need to top stitch. I need to put the handle on here, and I need to then add this top piece as well. What I realized is I want to put our tag on the back here, and I did not prep a tag to do that. So let's do that. I am going to lift you all up say hello. Thanks for staying. 3 people still live with me. Appreciate you. I'm gonna look here. I think in my trash can, this sounds horrible, but that fabric, I had very little of that Arendelle fabric left, and I kind of want to frame, this is just my scrap trash, thank goodness. I kind of want to frame that, our tag. So here I have this crazy scrap of Arendelle fabric left, and I want to get one of our tags. Oh no, let's see. You guys can help me with voting on this. So I have 2 colors of tags. I have black and I have tan, and I'm not sure which one to use on this bag. So here's the tan one. You can see it has like our wings are in the teal, same way with the black. So I need to see, you know, which one do you guys like better? What do you think? Tan or black? Let me know in the comments which one you think is better. I'm kind of going, I don't know. The bag is light to begin with, so I feel like the tan one might be the best one. Yushina, you're saying the tan? I feel like the tan is where we're gonna go. Yeah, I think so too. I'm wondering if there's a place on this fabric. I feel like the horse kind of is a good one. All right, we're gonna prep this. We're gonna choose the tan. Yushina, you win. All right. Thank you, Diana. Yeah, the colors of this, I love the colors of this so far too. So I'm gonna tilt this back down for y'all so you can kind of see how I do this. It's nothing real fancy. It's just we're gonna make a frame. We're gonna make a frame for this tag. So I'm gonna grab my double-sided tape because we need that. All right, and I want to try to find, I want there to be at least a 1/4 inch all the way around. I think I'm going to do it over the horse because the teal really pops there. So let's see. Find the end of the sticky tape. I'm going to put some sticky tape on the back of my tag. And now I'm going to, correct way here, Jenna. I'm going to position my tag. All right, and now I want at least a 1/4 inch so that it folds over. So let's see here. I feel like I need something that's gonna mark on this fabric better. Let's see here. So there's 1/4, 1/4. All right, we're just gonna cut that out. And I'm probably gonna have to put this in the center more. Be a little bit down further. A little too far. Or there we go. All right, now I'm just gonna use sticky tape to kind of fold all this in on itself. So I'm going to put sticky tape. This is like 1/4 inch sticky tape. This will make it like really pop on the back, and that's what I want, a little pop of color on the back. All right, so now I'm just going to fold in that 1/4 inch all the way around. You'll see that my corners are popped up. We'll take care of that when we sew it. Okay, and now I'm just gonna kind of corner them like that, like just let them, like the triangle like folds down over. I'm just gonna clip it for now. And with this being canvas, it's easy, it's folding really easy. So there we have that, and we're just gonna stitch around here, and then we can place it on our lining. Okay, thanks for helping me make that decision. I really like look how this is gonna look on top of each other. It's gonna look really pretty. So we're just going to top stitch our tag on this little framed area. I want to change my stitch length. So pretty. We're just gonna pull our threads through and knot this off. Burn a little bit. All right, and now we're gonna put some double-sided tape on this to be able to position it, and I'm gonna try to get it on like some of those corners just to kind of hold those down. And this double-sided tape, this thicker one, is from SewAlong, and a lot of my other is from Wizardry Stitchery, and I feel like, I mean, this is a permanent one. It's not a water-soluble one. For something like your tag, that doesn't really matter because you're gonna stitch it down. It doesn't gum my needle up, which I like. So, all right, now we need to find our centers of this. our top panel. And our back panel. And then we need to measure the 2.5 for our webbing. So there. And there. And then I'm going to measure down 1.5 inches for the top of my tag. We'll do the tag first. I was thinking about putting one of these underneath the tag, because the only other place we're going to be able to put one of these is inside. And I was thinking maybe doing the show yourself one underneath here. What do you guys think? Sent me some double-sided tape from Dollar Tree and it works very well. Oh, nice. I never saw double-sided tape at Dollar Tree. Is it just like on a roll? Like just on like a, you know, like regular tape? I'll have to check that out. I don't know. What do you guys think? Should I put this blue here does not, I don't know. It does, the blue with Olaf doesn't really match the teal. But the black one with show yourself, I feel like I could do this one on the inside because it's not really, you're not really going to see it until you look in the inside. But this one on the outside, I think we're going to do it. We're going to put that under my name tag, just as a little added pizzazz. So I'm going to get another piece of double-sided sticky tape just because woven tags move. I don't know if you guys signed up for sewing blurbs. I did, because I love little woven labels. All right, so I'm going to stick this. I'm going to center that on this double-sided tape. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, but now you're crooked. But now you're crooked. We just need you to be straight. There we go. Okay, and now we're going to line the tag up. Yeah, cute. All right, now we'll stitch that all on. It's on a roll in the craft section. Yoshina, I will have to check that out. All right, so now we're just gonna go all the way around this. So pretty. It's so pretty. All right, we're gonna pull this through and tie that off. And then we're gonna get our webbing and put our handles on. This wouldn't be necessary. I just wanted to make it pop a little bit on the back. All right, so now we need our other webbing that we're going to baste on here. All right. Okay. And now we're going to stitch the top panel on 1/4 inch. And the Lux vinyl, not Lux vinyl, Lux nylon does not necessarily like the interfacing. I had to really leave my iron on there for quite a while. You have to be careful that you don't melt the nylon either. You see, it's already not sticking down, but we'll be sewing it into the seam, so the places that it hasn't stuck, it'll be all right. All right, now we're gonna top stitch this. Just gonna kind of fold it up there and then fold my handles up and clip them so that they stay in place. Okay. And we're going to top stitch this. Okay. Oh, it looks so nice. It's gonna be really pretty when it's finished. All right. Now what we're going to do, actually I'm going to keep those clips on there just to keep the handles out of the way. Now what we do is we just top these on top of one another, facing. Okay. And we're just going to do the 1/4 inch seam all the way around. Just make sure that your seams are matching when you're clipping them in place. Make sure that your centers are matching at the bottom. Use some clips down here. You'll notice when you piece it together that your one, it might be a little bigger than the other. That's okay. We're gonna clip all that stuff down. It's all in the measuring of everything, and it'll be okay. All right. I have to move my clips because this gets really stiff and stuff gets in the way. All right, so we're gonna do 1/4 inch. And I wanna make sure that I'm not on a top stitch. I'm on 2.5. And we're just gonna stitch, I'm starting at the wrong end. We're gonna stitch all the way around, 1/4 inch. And if you're shaking, it's because the bag is hitting the phone stand. All right, we're gonna have 1/4 inch all the way around the bottom. Okay. Now what we're gonna do is I'm just gonna trim all the way around just to get rid of this excess that's all the way around here. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go over and we're going to cut the squares to box the corners. So it is, how big do they box the corners? 2.5. So it's a 2.5 inch boxed corners. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to bring this up so we can see each other again. I hope this is okay. Maybe it's not. Maybe I'm not doing it. So maybe it's sloppy and unprofessional. I don't know. But hey, this is just so you can see what's going on. So we're gonna box these corners 2.5, 2.5 on both sides, and then we're gonna work on the top piece of the bag and then the lining. I'm just seeing what Sheena wasn't sure about the combo, but the labels look nice. They do look nice together. It turned out all right, you know? All right, let's box these corners. So move my chair out of the way so you guys can see a little bit of my roller. And we're just going to do 2.5 on both sides of this. 2.5. enough over here. I need to get a new ruler. My lines are starting to fade. I ordered a 6-inch, or no, 8x6, I think it is, from Lauren. Just because sometimes you don't need that really big long thing, it gets in the way. Come on. There we go. Okay, so now this is how we need to look. And now we're gonna be boxing those corners. We'll tilt you back down again. All right. So we're gonna just take each corner and open it like so. You wanna, I usually like when I have a box corner to clip this piece here. Nope, you can't see me. To clip here where it's boxed before I clip the center, just so that it kind of holds right how I want it to look there first. So I'm gonna do the same over here. I'm gonna bring these together where I want them to be, and I'm gonna clip that part. And it's, you know, it's only a 1/4 inch seam, so not a whole lot there to flatten your seam. All right, and so now we're just going to do a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Make sure my stitch length is nice and tight. Okay, we can unclip those. Now let's look over here at the other side. And we'll do the same here. I want to kind of make sure my center is meeting there, but then fold that over and clip. And the same way here. Sometimes I like stick my finger in there and like go like that to flatten it. Now flatten that. Okay, now we can do this side, 1/4 inch. Okay. We're just gonna set the outer part of the bag aside for now. And we're going to work on the cinched part of the bag. So this one, when I looked at it the first time, I was like, this feels tricky. It's not tricky. What you want to do is you want to have it, the short end is here, and you piece those two together like so. Then I'm going to find the centers along the short. Probably could find the center along the top too, but along the short edge I want to definitely find my center, because that's going to be used to measure where your opening for your cinched part is. Okay. All right. And then I'm going to measure 1 inch away from that marking on both sides. Okay. And now I just am gonna clip this just so it doesn't move on me. Make sure I have that center right. And we're just going to do a 1/4 inch seam allowance straight down. And we're going to stop right when we get to our markings and back stitch. And we're going to lift up and just pull it to the next, that next little marking, and start again. Back stitch the beginning and the end here. And we're going to do the same. I'm just going to clip this so it doesn't move too much on me. And we're going to do the same thing, back stitch the beginning and the end at each of those markings. Go across to that other marking. Okay, and now what we're going to do is we're going to take this over to the ironing board, and we're going to flatten our seams. We're going to clip these stitches that are in between where that opening is. Okay, so I'm going to lift this up so we can go over to the ironing board or the ironing mat. All right, and we're going to iron those seams flat first, and then we're going to come over, we're going to turn this around, and we're going to stitch kind of a box around that opening. Hopefully you can kind of see what I'm up to over here. So since this is a tube, you kind of need to position it a little different. But you just want to flatten that. And mostly is important to flatten it right at that area where the opening is. Okay. Now what we're going to do, you can kind of see. So see that there's an opening here. We're going to just stitch around that opening on both of them to just keep it from, just keep it from fraying, and it just looks nice. So we're going to do that. So I'll tilt you down so you can see. Oh, girls. That's what you want to make sure you don't do. How many times has someone done that when they're sewing? Sewed onto the thing you didn't want to sew onto. Well, thankfully it wasn't too far. That we didn't go the whole way. Never said I was perfect. All right. Let's try this again. Make sure that your other side is out of the way. And then we're going to stitch around those. Goodness. Okay. I'll do the other one. I'm going to be burning that down to make that look nice. Okay, let's see if we can do this side without any oopsies. Oh, all you need to do is laugh, right? Oh my gosh. Crazy today. Oh, I feel like this is the way my day is going, because this morning when I hurt myself with this finger doing my mother-in-law's gift, I was like, oh, today's going to be one of those days where like the stupid stuff happens. Well, now That's completely start over again. Out of the way. Oh, let's try again. I'm sure all of you that are watching this can relate to making the same mistake more than once. It's part of sewing. I think that leans into being the healing part as well, as how many times in life do we keep making the same decisions and expecting different outcomes. All right. Now what I do with this at this point is I do take it over to the iron, and I'll show you. We have to turn it. I'm going to burn these threads down so it looks a little nicer. We're going to turn this so that it's folded in half, and that those holes are like they're folded in half, so they're gonna look like this, because that's where our little cinched I guess it's like a, you know, like your rope, whatever you're gonna put in there that's gonna cinch it up. So I usually just meet my corners here and clip. And then clip. And then we can just flatten it like so. And then I'm going to find my centers here. So that I have them. And now we can attach this to, well, it's telling us not to do that yet. It's telling us let's follow the pattern. Follow the pattern, Jenna, because you might skip something. All right, it's telling us to do our little slip pocket, so let's do our little slip pocket. Let's just sew that puppy up. All right, so one side I have interfaced, one side is not. We're just gonna start here, leave an opening to be able to turn it. 1/4 inch all the way around. Oh, bobbin. Let's take care of that. I did make another bobbin with the fairy floss. I hope this will be enough to finish it. I think it will. Let me know what you think about tomorrow's video, since I don't think I'll be able to sew. Maybe we can sew, but I like, you know, finishing the project with you guys. I was just going to do at least 1 hour each day of sewing, But I feel like that's like leaving everybody with a cliffhanger if it's not a project that can be done in an hour. So, if you're interested in me showing like how I plan what I'm sewing, let me know if you'd like me to do that tomorrow with y'all, because I feel like that's something I can set the camera over on my cutting table and you can see my planner and I can kind of walk you through how I do all that. So I'm just going to clip the corners of this before I turn it. Right side out. Grab my little nail file. Push those corners out, and then it says to top stitch across the top of your little pocket. I think I'm going to take this over and press it real quick, just because I like when pockets are pressed. Just makes it look nicer. Tuck in that little opening. Okay. And we're just going to top stitch across the top here to just make this nice with a 1/4 inch top stitch. This fabric here is from Joann's. It has like some sparkle in it. I figured goes with Arendelle. All right, now we're going to sew this onto our lining. So we need one of our linings. We're going to find our centers. Okay. And now we're going to measure down from the top 3.5 inches. And now I want to also measure here, make sure that this is straight, because this is 1 1/4. Okay. I use some bigger clips. Just clip this to the bottom here. And I think I'm going to put one of Olaf's little tags in this along the side of this, like so. So I'm going to need some sticky tape. There we go. All right. Now we're just going to top stitch that all around. And then it does say to do, to split this pocket. So we'll do that then too. Okay, clip these. And now we'll measure to split this pocket a little bit. Since it is meant to be kind of like a project bag, this is kind of nice to have a split pocket. So I'm just gonna, with my air erase pen, mark the 3.5 inch. Oh. Yep. That was not 3.5. Jenna, that's for 3.5. There we go. All right. Now we're just gonna go down that line. Okay, looking good. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to piece these two pieces together. All right, 1/4 inch on either side. And we're going to also go to about where the pocket ends here, because we want to leave the bottom of this part open so we're able to turn the bag. So 1/4 inch, stop where your pocket is, come back over. So 1/4 inch all the way around. Change my stitch length. I plan on doing some of these Firefly totes with some of my Shambori fabric. Yesterday, I have 2 different weights of fabric that we're going to have in our kits for So Magical in Texas. And so I already received the 120 weight. That's what I had dyed the other week. So now I received a 140 weight, which is just a slight difference, but you can definitely feel, you know, the weight difference, and that will definitely dye a little differently. So I'm going to do a test round of that, and I want to make some Firefly totes with the Shambori fabric as the lining, as well as like the front accent. So I can show everybody at So Magical like how to be able to add the Shambori fabric as pops of color to bags. So you'll be seeing more Firefly totes just because it is kind of one of my new favorite patterns. I really enjoy making it. If you're new, if you're just joining us live, that's the question today for today's Sew Along. What is your current, because we have so many of them that are our favorites, but what is your current favorite pattern? You know what? I think I forgot. I know. Okay. I'm going to sew the top a little bit smaller. Seam allowance to 5/8. And I really need one of these stickers that does the 5/8. I know that Sewful Therapy has them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so we're going to make our seam allowance 5/8 towards the bottom to 1/2 here, just so that things kind of fit correctly into the bag. That's the thing with linings, you don't want them to be your exact. So we're gonna, and then we're gonna, as we move towards the top, we're gonna thin it out a little bit and go to 1/2 inch. So here we're going to start at 1/2 inch, and then once we get to about where our pocket is when I started progressing the other direction. Now what I'm going to do is we're going to cut out our 2-inch corners and square this off, and I'm going to cut off the excess. So I'm just going to take that over to my cutting table over there. We're going to do that. All right. So 2.5 by 2.5. Half by 2.5. All right. Now we're going to square off these corners like so. Oh, no, we want to clip these. I'm going to clip this down a little bit just so that it's not a lot of bulk. And here comes the boy child from school. I have to think about what I'm making for dinner tonight, y'all. I'm not sure. Didn't get anything out this morning. So it might be chicken patties and french fries. All right, so next part, again, we're going to square these off like so. So you just want to pull them apart. I usually like to flatten this down if I can. If it's too, you know, wonky, I just lay it over. And so pin my corners. Sometimes you need to get that finger in there to get it the way you want. And then do the center. He might come up and say hello. We'll see. Sometimes he does, sometimes he doesn't. All right, so now we're just going to do a 1/4 inch seam allowance on that. But Apollo's going to see him, so that's his buddy. I'm doing my live, buddy. Apollo might need to go out, though.
He's just staring at me.
Why don't you take him out? All right, and then we're gonna just do the same on the other side. This is all gonna come together pretty quick at the end, which is another reason I like this pattern. Once you have all these steps done, it's like a pretty easy finish. Go outside. Go ahead. It's like he needs my permission to go. All right, do another 1/4 inch. Trying not to stick my tongue out I'm alive while I'm thinking and sewing at the same time. All right, where are we? All right, so now we have the lining. We have all of our pieces assembled. Now, what, oh, I need to still look at that part. All right, the last part here. Oh, and I guess I'm not seeing your chatting. There we go. At least I have a good attitude about it. Sometimes, Yoshina, sometimes I don't. I won't say that I do all the time. All right, so we need our top piece, this little top piece here. And we're going to grab our outer. And let me just read this because this is the part where before, okay. Place assembled drawstring closer into the assembled exterior lining seam sides. Frag will be right sides together. Yeah, so we're going to throw these down in. Throw these little babies down in. We don't want them sticking up. All right. And then we're going to take this, the lining, I mean the cinched part, I guess we'll call that, that's what we'll call this, the cinch part, and we're going to connect that to here. So meet your corners. This is the tricky part. Just gonna clip that all the way around. I hope I'm right here. I'm gonna read it again. This is the part where the first time I made this on the big one that I did not do it correctly. So I'm going to read it again just in case I am incorrect. But the last one I did, I got it right. So I'm pretty sure I remember that this is what we need to do. So let me read it again. will be aligned in the raw edge of the top band. Yep, okay. Base in place. Then the lining, place assembled lining into assembled exterior. Lining will be right sides with drawstring closure. Aligning side seams. Handle will be facing down into the tote. Exterior. Yep. Okay, yes. So we're gonna base this down first, and then we're going to, this gets turned right side out, your lining, okay? And then the lining is also going to go in right sides down and attach to this part here. Then you're gonna actually do your 1/4 inch, then we're gonna turn it around, and then we're going to do one last stitch it all together. So let's baste this on. Move some things out of my way here. And I'll just leave it up here like this for y'all, because basting is basting. You guys know what that is. So we're just gonna stitch this all the way around. Come on, little baby. Okay. I feel like, you know, sometimes I skip the basting step, but I feel like for this, it's nice to baste it, because that way you know that that part is in place. All right, now we're going to, we want our slip pocket to be on the back. So just make sure that that is where you're going with it. And we're gonna stick that right sides together in there. We're going on to the top, not to this part, to the top one. Right sides together. Okay, and now we're going to do, I'm pretty sure it's still 1/4 inch. Yeah. All right, so now we're just going to do a 1/4 inch seam allowance all the way around. Make sure that like none of your handles get in the way. You don't want to be sewing through a webbing handle and have to rip that. That's not fun. Leave me up in there. Okay, now we get to turn this baby around. The fun part. Hope we did it right. All right, so here we go. We're gonna bring this piece through like so. Birth that bag, baby. Oh, it's gonna look so pretty. Okay, so we did it right. We're good. We're gonna turn this right side out. Make sure all of our corners are poked out there. We're gonna poke out these corners. Looking nice and square. I don't know, there's just something about a box bottom that I like. All right, now what we're going to do is we are going to close this up because we're good. Everything looks nice. So I'm going to clip this to close up the bottom. Because we still have some steps on the front of the bag to do. But let's close this up because we don't need to leave that open for anything. I'm going to close that up on the bottom. You could put another woven label in there, but there's plenty of woven labels on there now. I'm just going to close this up. Okay. All right, we're gonna shove that down in there. Kind of push out those box corners on there in the lining. And now what we're going to do is you're gonna fold this part in half. Now remember, we still have our cinched part here, but we're gonna fold this seam here to meet this one on the outside, all right? And we're gonna fold it down to there, and I'm just gonna clip all the way around at that part. You wanna make sure your lining isn't up in, that it's like pulled down to that point. Flux nylon is slippy, so it's good to put the clips. It's so cute. All right. I'll clip it. All right, now you want to make sure that that cinched part is really like shoved in there, that you're not gonna catch that. And now this part is up to you if you want to stitch your handles on to this top part with your top stitch, which I am going to do for this one, just because they are just, it's just a 1 inch, it's a 1 inch webbing. So I am going to do that with these. And then I'll decide afterwards if I do really want to put a rivet in those. I might still put a rivet, but I'm going to do a top stitch, a 1/4 inch or an 1/8 of an inch. I think an eighth of an inch all the way around the top now. And like I said, really make sure that that cinched area, that cinched top part is out of your way when you're doing this. Make sure, like, sometimes it'll want to like fold over underneath too. Just make sure that that it's in the right position. Okay. Now we can pull those threads through. Oh, it's so cute. On this corner here, tie them off. Come on, little baby. Come through. Don't you hate when it sews through part of the thread? Darn it. Come on. There we go. All right, we're going to tie this off. And then we have one last little thing to do, which is add our cinching to it. And since we did an off-white tag, I think that's the color of cinching we're gonna do too. All right, so now all of this should, look how cute. Look how cute. All right, so now we need to pull this out and we're going to get our, what do we call this? What do we call this? I don't know. It's like shoelace stuff, but flat. I guess I should know the name of it. Because it's not webbing. Let me look and see what it says here. Twill tape. I think that's what it's called, is twill tape. So we need 2.5 yard twill tape. We need 2 yards of it. So we're gonna measure 2 yards of it over here. 2 yards feels like a lot, but you're basically, it's 1 yard for each side. One, two, okay. So we have our twill tape and we're going to cut that in half. We need our big safety pin. And we're going to, and I did this wrong on my daughter's. I didn't read the instructions and I was like, why isn't it cinching like I wanted it to? So you're gonna take one and you're gonna take it all the way. I just realized I didn't do something, you guys. I skipped a step. Let's set this aside. We can still do it. See where this stops? I want to sew all the way around to make that a tube. I just realized I didn't do that. So first thing I'm going to do though is I'm going to get my ruler and I'm just going to draw so I have a line to follow. And it's 1 inch all the way around. Where is my pen? See, this is what happens when you don't look at a pattern. You skip steps. I'll do it on the side too, so that I have it. To go all the way around. Okay. That's not that difficult. Getting ahead of ourselves. All right. I'm just gonna do a stitch all the way around. I'm not gonna do a 3 length. I'm gonna do 2.5 just so I don't want to stitch my twill tape into anything, so make sure that's all out of the way. Alrighty, let's fix this baby. I don't think it would cinch nice if you didn't do this piece, if you didn't do this part. So just all over the place today in this pattern. I mean, this is how it's going to be if we do any patterns that I've never done before. Because when it's a first time, I'm all over the place. I don't know if it's that I learn visually. It's why YouTube is like so awesome for people to learn how to sew. Like, I learn a lot visually, and so like a lot of times patterns, if they don't have pictures, I can get really confused. I don't know what that means, but alrighty now, and that looks pretty because the fairy floss really brightens that up. Burn these off a little bit. Okay. All right, now we're ready. See, we needed to do that. All right, now we're ready to put our twill tape, and we want to take it all the way around and bring it out on this side for one. How cute would this be for a little girl? I miss having a little girl. Maybe someday. Not anytime soon. Maybe someday I'll be a grandma of a little girl. I love having a boy. I shouldn't say that, but the fact that my daughter's off in college, like I do, especially this time of year, I miss having a little girl. All right. So we're just gonna knot this kind of close to the end here, and I'm gonna clip this then and put some fray check on the end here. Okay, so there's one side. Now we want to take the other piece and start at the end that has the loop, not the knot. All right, for the other side. Well, I think we might be a little longer than yesterday. Well, maybe not. Yesterday went pretty long because those little Andy slings, they take some time. Maybe if I wouldn't have skipped steps and made mistakes this time, we would have been shorter, but that's the realness. That's reality. All right, so now I'm gonna bring this one out this end and knot that one off. And I'll trim that and put fray check on that too. And now when you pull it, it makes little cinchies. All right, let's check this baby out from behind. I'm not sure. What do you guys think? I think it kind of does need a rainbow ribbit. I only have Mickey head rainbow ribbits right now, but I feel like it kind of does need like a ribbit on the center of it. Do you guys think? So here it is. Here's the cute little Arundel Firefly tote. We have our little Elsa and Anna zipper pull. Pocket there, pocket there. And then when we open it up, here on the inside, oh, it's pretty dark. Let's turn the light in there. Maybe we can get some light in there. So everything is in there. Has our little pockets in the back here. But how cute! Perfect little project size or toys going to grandma's. And then we have our tag on the back here. So stinking cute. And I love this luxe nylon. Like, this was a really great because I did the other ones in wax canvas, I feel like this also really does have that same like structure and weight. So I'm gonna be looking for more of this from Gabby for sure. So, all right, y'all. What do you think? You gonna give the Firefly tote a try? I should go grab my daughter's to show you. She's not gonna watch me on YouTube probably. But I made her one for Christmas that is the actual tote size. And I added, and that was the first one I made. And I added a crossbody to it. But I didn't know how to add the crossbody with it folded over. Like it wasn't clicking yet. But if you did want to add a crossbody, I would say before, just like when you put your handles on, before you put this top binding on, that's where I would put the D-ring to be able to make a crossbody of this. Because I think this would be a cute even everyday bag. So if you wanted to make a crossbody out of it, I would put the D-rings on in the corners before you add that top piece when you're doing your handles. So let me know what you think. Tomorrow, like I said, I think I'm gonna set it for 1:30. If I have to change it, change the time, I will, just because I have an appointment in the morning. I won't have anything prepped to sew. Maybe the pouches. I have the Patadin pouch. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. From So Sweetness, I have a few of those. Which was I tried to sew that live before, and it's a little of a confusing tote. I'd like to make one of them again just to like re-trigger my brain before I do it live. If I get a chance to do that today yet, maybe we'll still do that live tomorrow. If not, we'll do, I'll do some planning for Q2. You get to sit with me and get a sneak peek into stuff that's being planned for our farm, for sewing in general, on how I do that planning per quarter. It's very much, if you have a small business, quarterly planning is a smart way to go, because a lot of your marketing and all of that is seasonal. So we'll do that tomorrow. But thank you all again. This will be in my first Thursday shop drop, which is tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. So every first Thursday, I add all the new things that I've sewn onto our website to be able to be purchased. So if you love this little beauty, if you want to send it to a little princess, or you want to be the princess, it'll be there in the shop. So join my handcrafted Facebook group. It's Thunderbird Farm Handcrafted on Facebook. It should be able to find it. All my handles everywhere are Thunderbird Farm PA, so that you can give me a follow. All right. Have a beautiful, beautiful Wednesday.